So, I just filmed this entire video, and guess how long into the 25-minute video it took me to accidentally mute my mic? Any guesses? Any guesses in the comments? If you guessed 2 minutes into the 25-minute recording, you would be correct. You are a winner. Oh boy. Well, look, we all make mistakes sometimes. I'm going to be talking about the stuff I've already talked about in this video, so it might get a bit weird sometimes, but here are my goals and how I think about goals leading into 2022. If you don't know me, my name is Hawker, or I guess on this channel my name is Alex Hawkins, which feels so weird, but that's going to be part of the goals in the video. So you will find out what this channel is going to be throughout the video. You've got to stay tuned to figure it out. Right now it's a mystery. You can uncover it. I'm sure there's also some people that are sitting there wondering why the hell I am doing my 2022 goals in the third month of the year. We're in March, okay? The start of 2022 was a while ago. And to those people, I say, screw you guys. Let me be lazy sometimes, okay? We all got to be lazy sometimes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That is all I have for you. Okay, let's get into the goals. We're going to have a really fun way of revealing these. Let me make sure I'm still recording my audio. I am. Brilliant. Fantastic. So, to start with, everything that I wrote out previously is going to be in white, and we're going to turn it black. So, the first goal is revolving around casting and broadcast work. This is a weird one because I don't think there's much I can actively do to change this, right? I think I am good at what I do. I love commentating. It is genuinely the thing that I find most fulfilling and most rewarding in my life. It's just so cool getting to explain what I think the pros are doing and rewarding them almost for the hard work they put into the game. Whenever I feel like I've just nailed a strategy or nailed a tendency for a team, it just feels so rewarding because it's just so nice to imagine the viewer at home getting more interested in Counter-Strike because I have been able to effectively communicate what the pros spend so much time working on. And I got a little emotional in the previous recording of this video, which is sadly lost to technical issues. But I was talking about why this is so important for me. And the reason is because Counter-Strike has provided so much to me. And I really genuinely mean that. I think without Counter-Strike, maybe I would have got here, but I wouldn't have got to where I am right now as quickly. For me personally, I didn't really know this at the time. I didn't really think about this at the time. But when I was at school, and especially when I was at university, I was lacking in confidence severely. But I would also say I probably had some form of social anxiety. Even if no one ever diagnosed it, that there was something there where I remember when I was at university, I would just show up to class, sit at the front, not talk to anyone, go home, play video games. And it was really rough. And I just didn't really think about it. I would just try and distract myself for my life. And the one kind of respite I had when I was at university was the fact that I found commentating. And by slowly getting more into it and just feeling respected was the main thing. Feeling respected and welcomed and loved by this community that I had grown up watching, especially when I went to the ECS LAN when I won the Caster Challenge. I was still so awkward and I still didn't know how the hell to talk to people, but because it was about Counter-Strike and because I had that bit of confidence in Counter-Strike, everyone was really nice and welcoming, and these were people I had looked up to as a kid. I was always enamored. Oh, that is not how you say that word. Enamored. You wouldn't know I talk for a living, would you? I was enamored by some of the top talent. I just thought they were so good at what they did. And going to that event and feeling welcomed was so nice. And so, because Counter-Strike has provided that to me and helped me become so much more confident and helped me honestly get to the point where I don't think I have that same anxiety anymore. And trust me, it's so nice. It is so nice to not feel anxious when talking to people. Oh my god, it's like playing life on easy mode. It's incredible. It is incredible. I love it so much. And so because of that, because of what Counter-Strike has given me, I feel almost owed to give back to Counter-Strike in a sense. And I think I can do that best when I'm casting and when I am on broadcast. And selfishly, look, I'm going to be honest, it's also the thing I find most fun. Genuinely. So you could either believe the whole sob story angle of that, or you can believe the fact that I just find it fun to do. I think both are true to varying degrees. Let's see what else I wrote, because I actually don't remember. Continue to improve and work on my skills. That is the next one of these. Again, there's not massive amounts I can do other than putting myself out there and watching back the past work I have done to make sure I am good at what I am doing. And I think this will even help, because one of the areas I probably lack in is when I'm on camera. I'm never really sure what to do. Do I look at the camera? Do I look slightly away from the camera? Do I look back and forth between the person I'm talking to and the camera? It's kind of weird to figure out. So hopefully this will help me feel more comfortable in those scenarios. And then thirdly, inject a little more personality. This is a big one, because for the longest time, I was looking at commentating and broadcast stuff through that lens I was talking about previously, where I was always fully focused on the game and fully focused on just translating what the pros were doing and what the cool stuff was going on in the game in the round to the viewer. And I think that is mainly what I want to do, and there is a lot of value in that. But at the end of the day, it's an entertainment product. You gotta be entertaining. And I think I'm starting to get better at that. I think I'm starting to understand that side of things more. I still want to have a real professional edge when I'm on broadcast. I want to continue to work on that. I really think that is something I stress. But you gotta have a bit of fun with it. Because when you're having fun with it, the viewers are having fun too. And I think I'm starting to get there. So that's nice. One last thing I also want to talk about is, I think one of the reasons I feel like I owe Counter-Strike and it contributes to my purpose is just the fact that I think there's something so beautiful that the sort of anxiety I had and the lack of social life I honestly had throughout high school and university, like university was really bad. The first year especially. What happened to me when I went to university, and maybe there's a lesson in here for you guys, is I was finally living away from my parents for the first time, and the first week was meant to be a welcoming week where you go and you meet people and you try new things and you make your friends. That was not on my mind, okay? That was not on my mind at all, because in my mind, I am finally living by myself for the first time. I've got all the time in the world to play video games, boys. I can play as many video games as I want, and that's what I did. And I think I probably did some casting stuff too. And then I showed up after that first week where you don't have any lectures. I showed up to the first lecture, the introductory lecture. I walked into the hall, and at least in my head, I looked around and saw that everyone else had already made friends. And I was too awkward to go ahead and talk to them. So for a long period of time, I would just go to the front of the lecture, sit down, go home, not talk to many people. And that was rough. But the thing that's so cool about that is because of that life circumstance I was in, I didn't really have much of a social life. So I committed all of my time, or way more of my time than I should have, to commentating and to Counter-Strike. And eventually it started paying off. And eventually that is the way I developed that side of me and got that confidence that I was so severely lacking. So I just wanted to share that because I think it's a really cool circular story of what Counter-Strike has done for me. And because if you are watching at home and you are going to university, I know you're just going to want to play games. But trust me when I tell you just to make friends in that first week if you can. And the easiest way to do this is just go to societies that interest you. There's going to be a gaming society at uni, which I went to. I just was too awkward to make friends there. But just try and challenge yourself. Try and push yourself. Because even if you just talk to someone that first time, that's going to help grow that confidence. If you have a good interaction, slowly but surely, you'll figure it out. Okay, second. What is second on the list? YouTube. This is a good one because it's going to help explain this channel. I will go ahead and explain this channel first. Use this personal channel to experiment. I cannot tell you what this channel is going to upload in the next year. I really don't know. I'm going to try random stuff on it. I'm going to try new things. This channel I want mainly to be much more about me. I didn't feel like I wanted to put this content on the Hawker channel because I think that channel is Counter-Strike first and then me second. I'll inject some personality here and there, but mostly it is just about what the pros are doing, what the cool stuff that's happening in Counter-Strike is. That's what I want that channel to be. I want it to be mainly about CS. So I figured I'd make a new channel just to experiment with things and do random stuff like this. To be honest, on the main channel, I would never upload a video like this because I would always want to edit the video. I know that your time is really valuable and I never want to waste it. But then I think about it more and I started to realize some of the most valuable content and some of the content I have most enjoyed is longer form content that I listen to on the side. Podcasts have been so revolutionary for me. A lot of them have taught me a lot of incredible lessons and have just been entertaining in general. So I want to experiment with that too and get a bit more comfortable with this style of content. More real life / personal content. That's exactly what I was saying. I really don't know what it will be, but I hope it will be good. And I think the main thing with this channel is I'm going to have no expectations because I think I have a bar of quality now on the main channel, which I really like. And this channel is just going to be potentially shit or potentially gold. You don't know. It's like opening up a box of chocolates. You could get anything. Incredible. Okay. And then finally, I'm going to be starting a podcast. That is the one thing I am pretty sure I'm going to be doing. It's going to be called the 21 Questions Podcast. And the tagline, the hook, is where we get to know more about the person behind the personality. The idea behind this is that I think there are a lot of incredible people in esports, and oftentimes those people have so much more about them than just their esports side. Right? I want to know what they were doing before esports. I want to know all sorts of random stuff about them. And so in that podcast, I will ask them the same 21 questions as a sort of loose framework for a discussion. But in general, it is about getting to know the people in esports on a slightly deeper level and just getting to know a bit more about them. And hopefully people will be willing to open up and share. That's my idea. And I just think that area of esports is underserved. Like if you're a fan of someone, you're probably a fan of them for their work, but you might not know as much about them outside of that. And I think as a fan, that is something I'd be really interested in. So that's what I've gone ahead and gone for. Let's go on to YouTube. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, we're still on YouTube. Sorry, we were on YouTube. I got a little lost for a second there. I want to have consistent uploads, at least one video a week, which I think should be doable. And the reason I have put this as a goal is because when I talk about goals, I've realized that I want to make them much more about the input side of things. And let me explain that. I had a goal I think it was last year, where I wanted to hit 100,000 subscribers on the Hawkins channel by the end of the year. It was a pretty ambitious goal, and once I started to realize I was not even going to come close to reaching it, I really lost motivation. I think there was months where I didn't upload because I felt like I had just completely plateaued and completely not reached my expectations. And then the more podcasts I started to watch, the more I realized that was a goal that I set that was completely out of my control. All I can do is make videos which I think are good. I can't make people watch them. I can't make the algorithm recommend them to people. If I could, you already know, I would be doing my best to grow CS as a game. And of course, enjoying the benefits from that personally. So I've realized I think I just want to have goals which revolve around things I can control, because that way it's going to be so much easier to reach them. And it's not going to demotivate me as much. So consistent uploads at least once a week, I think that should be doable, because when you hit consistency with a YouTube channel, it helps so much. You just see that upward trajectory, you just see the views, and it's a nice feeling. And that's what I want at the end of the day. I want my videos to be viewed by people. Call me crazy, but that's what I want. I also really want to make one very high quality video on that channel every now and then. And I want it to be about storylines more than anything. I just think the narrative content and the storyline content has so much potential on YouTube for CSGO to go viral. And I think it's the best way we have to grow the game right now. And I am so passionate about growing this game. It is great. It is the best esport out there. We just need to get more eyes on it. And so if I can make one high quality narrative style video, like the Nico video, which I made, which I am still incredibly proud of, even if it didn't blow up, those are the sorts of videos I want to make every now and then. Mainly because it just felt so rewarding to make that Nico video. The feeling I got after that was, wow, I think this has got a chance of reaching a wider audience, and that is something I care a lot about. So that's something I want to do. I'm glancing over at my second monitor, by the way, if anyone caught that, to check that I'm still recording the audio, which I am. Thumbs up, professional YouTuber. Okay. Third, there's not too much here to the exercise point. I think that's meant to have a number 3 in front of it. Nope, it's not there for some reason. Yeah, there's not much to the exercise point. I've set this one quite low because it's the third goal on the list, but it's basically just to do some exercise, maybe on every other day, maybe like 3 to 4 times a week. I don't want to get ripped, right? I mean, you look at me, I'm not going to get ripped anytime soon, probably. I just want to feel somewhat healthy, and I find after I exercise, I almost always feel way better. So just setting a goal, just exercise when I can. I think it's a nice goal for pretty much anyone to have. I've also put under here, it's probably going to be cardio for me, because I just find it a lot easier to do cardio, and I mostly just care about staying somewhat active, staying somewhat healthy. Another nice thing with cardio is I have a cycling machine, and so I can actually watch a YouTube video while I'm doing it, which genuinely helps me so much, right? Watch a YouTube video, watch a show, watch something. It just makes it so that I can just sit there and, I don't know, just do it a lot easier, which is mainly what I want to do. Let's go down to the next one. The final one on the list is hobbies. Okay, where did the number 3 go? The number 4 is here. The number 2 is here. The number 3 has vanished. But that's fine. I left this one until last because it's one you guys probably won't see any of. I basically just want to start doing some sort of music stuff. I literally, if I just mess around on like a music program and try and make something and just get comfortable with the program, that's the main goal here. I probably won't release anything. At least not until I think it's really good. And that's going to take a long, long time. So basically at some point I want to have that creative outlet. I have like a couple of song ideas saved, and every now and then I'll think of a new one and something will just get into my head and I'll just hum it out. I want to be able to make that and just have fun with it. I think that creative side is pretty important for me, as you can see from the YouTube and the casting. So yeah, that's always something I've been interested in. It's something I would like to try. What else do we have? Okay, this was where we got into talking about why and how I set my goals. And this is where I talked about the fact that I don't think it's good, for me at least, to set goals out of my control. I think for me personally, if I set goals that are hard numbers or are things that I can't actively control with what I'm doing, I can pretty easily get demotivated. You know, instead of 100k subscribers on YouTube, why not upload consistent quality YouTube videos? I know I can do that. I don't know that the algorithm will bless me, which you always hope it will, but you never know. Sometimes you get an inkling though. The other important point here is that you can do this while still staying ambitious. And the main way to do this is to be honest with yourself. Just be honest as to whether you are living up to your goals, or be honest when you think you are reaching your goals, but you can go even further, right? Just because I've uploaded my one video for the week doesn't mean I should chill. I can work a bit more on another YouTube video. I can go for 2 a week, right? I don't have to set these goals. These are just kind of the minimum of what I want to try and do. Another piece of advice which I think is useful, if you struggle to start things, which is oftentimes the biggest block to me to starting, trying to accomplish these goals, is just try and break it down into smaller and easier to manage chunks. A great example of this is for when making a YouTube video, there's actually a lot that goes into it. I have to come up with the idea. I have to go ahead and film the stuff in game. Then I have to probably watch it back again to make sure I script it exactly right and say exactly what I want to say. Then I have to edit the video. Then I have to render it and release it. That's a lot of different steps. That's even before you talk about watching the pro games to begin with, which is where the idea often starts. That is a lot of different things to do. So if I can just break it down and just start doing one of those things, it helps so much. Just to get that ball rolling, it helps more than you would imagine. Once you start on that right path, it just starts to turn into a flow a lot of the time. And I also find that if I get distracted by even small things, it can really affect that flow and really affect that work. So I'd say breaking down these larger goals into more easily accessible actions you can do is a really good way of trying to achieve them. These are just some takeaways I have had from goals. I think for me, they're helpful. For you, they might not be. If they make logical sense to you, maybe try them out. If they don't, okay, don't. That's cool. I'm like a Buddhist monk over here, man. I'm super chill. I just realized I sounded like just very zen there for a second, which isn't what I was going for, but it's kind of nice. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It is still very weird for me recording content that I know will not be edited. I feel kind of uncomfortable doing it. Like, there's part of me that's sitting here thinking, who the hell is going to watch 24 minutes of you talking about this stuff? But again, there's also the other part of me that realizes, okay, actually, I watch a lot of this style of video and it really helps me. So I'm having to battle both sides of that and realize that there is value in this sort of stuff. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoy some of the ideas that I have for stuff on this channel. Again, remember, no expectations, everybody. 0 expectations. It's going to be hard for me to be consistent on this channel, probably, because I can barely be consistent on my Hawker channel. So don't expect too much. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll catch you next time. See ya. Where's the stop recording button? There it is.